Face reality, people. Movies are dead. Games are dead. Narrative? Dead.
Media is nothing but neural trigger response and viral conditioning.
Wait, what are you two talking about?
All
And
right.
this guy's defending the Giants.
All right. So got a little video here for the baseball fans of Gerrit Cole and his elbow issues. And we're gonna watch, like, I guess through the medium, we're gonna say our opinions through the medium of David Samson. And that's it. Here we go. Let's hear it.
If you are the GM of any team or the team president,
Turn my volume up.
and you're listening to nothing personal, oh, it better not be about my guy. Elbow discomfort here on Tuesday, March 12th, 2024.
Yeah, more
Yankees
of
fans
it.
are despondent beyond repair as they woke up to the news that Aaron Boone just put into a quick convo. We're going to take Gerrit Cole and give him an MRI. Just a little elbow discomfort. All right.
So you pause that real quick.
Facts of the case.
So disclaimer: this is before they found out that he was out 1 and 2 months. But I feel like what he's saying here is way more interesting than him actually talking about the injury.
Fair
He's
enough.
going to talk about the spin that teams give the media and fans about when they know things and how they want it disseminated.
And by the way, if you're a Yankee fan, you should know this already. Personally, like,
Yeah, they do.
just from personal
I feel like a
experience,
lot of-
Yankee
yeah.
fans should know this already. But all right, here we go.
You remember how the team doctor calls the team trainer and the team trainer calls the GM and then the GM calls the president calls the owner, and then you all do a conference call back with the team doctor just in case there was a little bit of telephone going on? You want to hear it firsthand from the source? Couple words I don't love to hear ever. Discomfort, normally, I'm okay with. Hey, he's got some lower back discomfort. Hey, he's got some discomfort in his hip.
Yep.
He's got a little bit of discomfort in his toe. His groin is a little uncomfortable. No problem. When you are a pitcher and they use discomfort associated with your shoulder or your elbow, that's code word for, uh-oh, we've got trouble.
To pause him there. Yes. As far as my understanding of what I've seen from the numerous fucking news stories in regards to injuries and all that, like, they use these, like, words, like, they're kind of euphemisms, right? To, like, kind of like mask what's actually happening. In words like discomfort itself, to me, is already means, like, okay, what do you mean by that? Well, it means a contusion. Okay, what does contusion mean? Well, he needs surgery. Well, it's like they're fucking with you, bro.
In this case, these guys are they're bullshitting so hard. They won't go further than that. He just got elbow discomfort, and we won't tell you what's going on.
Yes.
And it's like, this is like egregious. Like, even for the standards of like how they usually are, this is egregious.
If teams get desperate or something, even the Yankees, which is like a big market team, and they're the Yankees, right? They're a big team, big time.
Okay, my bad. So here's the other part too.
Good.
There's a what is it, like, an intersecting problem here too, that links to one person, Scott Boras.
Oh,
Gerrit
I've
Cole.
been. Oh, wait. Before you say that, I've been getting recommended videos about here's the problems with Scott Boras, or like, I've been getting recommended videos like that.
Yeah.
So go ahead,
Yeah.
go ahead from there.
Well, Gerrit Cole is a client of Scott Boras. Juan Soto, who the Yankees just made a blockbuster deal to get in a trade, is a Scott Boras client.
Blake
The two,
Blake Snell.
yes, Blake Snell and Jordan Montgomery, who are yet to be signed. And Blake Snell already had conversations with the Yankees to sign with them,
Mhm.
are Scott Boras clients. And so there's kind of speculation that A, Gerrit Cole might have called Scott Boras to tell him, hey, this is not looking good. And B, Scott Boras is like putting the pressure on Hal and Cashman, the owner and GM of the Yankees,
Yeah.
to sign one of his pitchers because hey, you need a pitcher. Hey, your ace is gone. And Cashman and Hal and the entire Yankee brain trust is trying to do anything they can to not give any kind of like negotiating tactic to Boris to know like, oh, we're really in trouble and we need help, so he could use that against them. And oh, I forgot to tell you, the White Sox just traded one of their fucking pitcher, Dylan Cease, who the Yankees wanted. When Cole got hurt, there were rumors that the Yankees were looking into getting
Yeah.
this pitcher, and guess who got the Dylan Cease? The fucking Padres, and the fucking Padres used the pitcher, the number one prospect the Yankees gave them for Soto to flip him and like two or three other players for this pitcher. So
Oh my
now the
god.
Yankees, so now the Yankees are like they're like Boris like Boris was dead before this shit happened. Before Cole got hurt, Boris was like he still might be dead. Like the Yankees might be like, nah, we're not gonna do it.
Yeah.
But the Yankees are kind of fucked because they were trying to get Corbin Burns, who went to the Baltimore Orioles, which are their fucking rivals, and on paper they're better than the Yankees. With Cole, they were better than the Yankees.
Yeah.
And now Dylan Cease is gone. So the only available pitchers are those two pitchers. So Scott Boras is kind of like back in the game now because of this. And the Yankees are desperately trying to spin Gerrit Cole. Even after they said it's 1 to 2 months, they're still trying to spin that shit because they're over the luxury tax. So if you sign Blake Snell and you give him 40 million a year, you got to give him 80 million a year because of the tax. They're over the limit.
The
That's
Yankees live by that shit, bro. From my personal experience, they live for spending money. So
not anymore, dude. Not anymore. Hal's not like
I'm
his
out of the
dad,
loop.
bro.
Okay, you probably know more than I do right now.
Like,
Like
Hal,
I'm out of the loop
Hal's,
with that shit.
Hal's
But
a penny pincher now. Hal's all about maximizing profits. And he's literally at the line. If he signs Snell, he's got to pay double the salary because of the tax. And so the Yankee fans are like, yo, we're going to win now. You got Soto on a rental. If you don't, and Judge is hurt too, bro. Judge is fucking hurt. Judge is like not playing. In the episode he put out today, David Samson, he goes into that shit like, oh, like Judge is saying like cryptic things too, like, oh, he might not be ready, this or that. Like so, like it's like literally panic time for the Yankees now because of Judge and Cole,
do they
and
still
like
have fucking Rizzo on their team?
Rizzo. Well, you haven't been paying attention.
I have not.
Rizzo got hit in the head last year at first base by Tatis, and he played with a concussion for 2 months, bro. And he was fucked up, dude. He couldn't play. He couldn't hit basically. He started off good, and then he had that concussion, and he played through the concussion. He traveled on planes with that concussion, and the
Oh
Yankees
fuck.
misdiagnosed it. They didn't diagnose it as a concussion at first, and he like got shut down like in August or like late July. But he's looking good now. But it's like he's like 34 now or 35. Like Stanton,
He's on the Yankees, and then you have Soto, Stanton, Judge.
Stan looks like shit too, bro. Stan's hitting like 098 in spring.
I'm like, who's gonna play where on this
Um,
team? That's
they got
that's what I'm thinking
Verdugo.
about.
They got Verdugo, who's like a good left-handed outfielder that came from the Red Sox. They got Trent Grisham,
Okay.
who came with Soto. He's like a utility player, but he hits from the left side. He's like a feast or famine, strikeout or home run guy. and they have a lot of young
Bruh.
kids. They still got Gleyber Torres, who's on a contract year.
I didn't like his game too much personally, but
He did a lot better last year offensively. He hit for more average. He was a more balanced hitter. We'll see what happens this year. That was just
fair enough.
it could be one off. It could be a one off. He's only 28 or 27, I think. He's young.
God
But yeah,
damn.
and Soto's killing it. Soto's having a great spring, which doesn't mean anything, but he looks ready. So they're saying he might have like a big walk year for the contract.
Oh man.
So with all that
I
being said,
don't like this
yeah,
era of baseball. Go ahead. Go ahead.
me neither. No, me neither. No, it's like 13. Let's try to get through this because it's
Yeah.
kind of a long
Okay.
segment.
Here we go.
So you get the call. You know something's going on. Gerrit Cole's pitched one time in spring training. Today is March 12th. These pitchers forget Dodgers and Padres, where the Dodgers announced that Glasnow will open game 1 in South Korea. Yamamoto's taking game 2. Those guys are locked in. They are pitching on their 5 days. They will pitch, and then in 8 days, they will start, or 9 days for Yamamoto. The rest of the teams open on the 28th.
I hate and miss
News alert,
baseball at the same time.
those rotations are locked in as well.
I
Do a little
love
math, and you'll be able to
opening
figure
day
out
of
the opening
baseball.
day starter for every single team. When your pitcher has not pitched since March 1st, I don't care if he's throwing bullpen sessions to Aaron Judge every other Tuesday. I don't care if he's throwing bullpens to Verdugo, live, simulated 9-inning games with umpires. If your starting pitcher is not pitching in spring training games with umpires from the umpires union, with players from another team not on the back fields, anyone from Asian Breeze, you got to be against other teams' big leaguers. When you have not been doing that since March 1st, and your total spring innings are, wait for it, dose, you got a problem. You're not ready for the regular season.
Now, to be fair, here, if you're a gamer, you're good. Like you're good with that. You don't need
If he was healthy, it wouldn't matter. If he was healthy, yeah, he'd be good.
Well,
Cole,
it's a mentality thing too. I think of like if you're a gamer, it doesn't matter if you don't need to be playing. Like what you would do is based on the player you're against. So if it's Verdugo or fucking Judge and or whoever in your own like team, right? Like you're still like either way, you're still patient. Like they played Boston how many fucking times? A lot, right? So you
not
learning,
anymore.
so you learn. Well, you learning against that guy is still you learning against that guy. So when you go to
Yeah.
regular fucking seasons, man, like, yeah, you're still using scouting reports and you're using pitching charts and all that shit with these guys. So like, it shouldn't actually matter, honestly. Like,
Well, honestly, when in today's league, in today's game,
unless crowds throw you
you're,
off.
if you're a pitcher with a half a brain, the game is yours. You're more than likely gonna have a good game with these fucking idiot hitters.
Yeah. I'll give him credit for maybe you're not used to this thing and you're not used to the pressure of crowds and shit like that. But like, I remember Roger Clemens getting signed like mid-season. Yes,
Yeah,
he was on shit, right? He was on roids or whatever the fuck he was. But still,
but he was like a
you
gamer. Like
yes, yes, you
he
should
lived
you
the
should have to throw
game.
fucking strikes and shit like that. You should
It's
have to
like, oh,
fucking
it's like he told you he was retired. This guy was still pitching. He
yeah.
was pitching somewhere, bro.
He show up
He,
mid-season against guys he's never seen before and strike them out because it's there's a skill set to it that shouldn't matter. Like I get like an owner type of guy thinking that. Like, whoa, you missed spring training, you're gonna suck this year. You're gonna suck for the first couple months. I understand that. I understand that thinking. but I don't think that's like a real thing actually when it comes to competitive fucking sports. But whatever. Here we go.
The New York Yankees had to explain to themselves, maybe publicly, but let me get to that. Had to explain why Gerrit Cole has not been pitching since March 1st. So the explanation is he just hasn't felt as good between starts. His recovery isn't going as well.
Yeah, discomfort
He
bothers me as a
feels as
word
though he's got
for
arm
these
fatigue
guys.
that would
I
be a
get worried.
mid-season type of fatigue or a post 100 pitch outing type of fatigue during the recovery process.
Euphemisms. Yep.
That's all code word for we don't really want to tell you what's happening because we really hope it's not happening. And we're waiting as long as we can to find out if something really bad's happening. But now that we're in the middle of the March, we have no choice but to really find out and then figure what we have to do because we have to have pitchers ready in a rotation. And this may
True.
involve signing an unsigned player.
That's the politics of baseball, right?
Yeah.
Like what he's saying is the politics of baseball. And yes, that does make sense to bring that up as an argument, 100%. Because motherfuckers fuck around. They do fuck around. And there's so many players, bro. A 25-man roster is large enough to fuck around with it. Honestly, as far as names and even injury fucking ideas with players, and like, what does this word mean? Like, that has a undisclosed definition, bro.
Yeah.
For Gerrit Cole, elbow discomfort has an undisclosed definition for it.
Yeah.
We don't fucking know that.
It's a euphemism. Like, what the
Yes.
fuck is that?
Yes.
Cliches to hide what you really know.
Yes. And fans, we won't fucking know. We won't know.
Yeah, and
Even
it
though
kind of
we're leaning
drives them.
towards the worst.
It
But
kind of drives them crazy. Like instinctually, they do know, but since that's as far as they're getting, it's like they start losing their minds. Like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, sign this guy, sign that guy. They still think George is around. Like, dude, George, like these guys ain't George, bro. They're not signing anybody willy nilly.
well, instinctually, I'm like them, honestly. Where I'm like, when I hear elbow discomfort, I'm like, the worst has happened, and we need to plan ahead for
Yeah,
the worst, and that makes sense. Like, if you're into baseball, I mean, that's like a thing.
it's a thing. It's definitely a thing.
I've gone
The
through with
thing
Max
was
Fried
though,
as a Braves fan. Max Fried, yes, when you see certain things like discomfort, like, oh shit, something's fucked up is happening. Like, oh
yeah.
fuck.
And then it gets reinforced when you say he's out for a month or two, and you're telling me there's nothing wrong with his elbow. It's like, how the fuck do I believe you when you're telling me that he needs a month?
Exactly.
And Boone like gave a terrible answer. He basically pleaded the fifth, bro.
Well, he can't, right? Because his ass is on the line, right? He can't really say much.
Yeah, he can't. He can't. He has to lie.
Yeah, basically, he kind of has to do that. It's fucked up, man. It is fucked up.
And like people were excited. They fucking bought a lot of tickets because of Soto.
Yeah,
And
I
like
can
one
imagine that.
yeah one thing after another starting to happen where the outlook on the
Yeah,
seasons was much less promising than it did when spring training started.
yeah, and you can bet your ass at the end of or probably midway through a month gone or something like that, like 2 months gone, right? Halfway through a month, I guess. Like, you're gonna hear something else, most likely.
Yes, I agree.
And it will probably be like either he's gonna be here soon or he's gone for however amount of time, man.
Yeah,
And that's welcome to baseball, man.
I can't wait to watch the
Welcome.
show tomorrow. He's gonna talk about this tomorrow.
When is opening day?
Opening day is the 28th of this month.
Okay, I'll be watching. Well, I'll be watching for my fucking team, but I'll try to watch like more widely of baseball. But all right, here we go.
if you have no budget to sign a free agent and you are not going to replace the pitcher who is having quote unquote wink wink discomfort or one of
It's
your
the Yankees,
essential
though, man.
starters,
You're not talking about
let
the
me go back.
fucking A's,
When
right?
spring training starts, we have a list,
Whatever.
and it is a list that we
It's
keep on a
the
board. It is
owner.
It's not
typed
the
out.
A's.
We keep
Come
it in our
on.
pockets, folded in squares, sometimes in our breast pocket. It's a list of SPDs, not STDs, SPDs.
Okay, we get that,
Starting
bud.
pitcher depth. We start with one who we want to start opening day. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Just
This would be our ideal 5.
Hold on. We just went over that with the Ken Rosenthal fucking thing of hey man, these guys aren't going more than 5 or 6 innings. As far as the idea of quote unquote depth, to where
Yeah.
you're still relying on your fucking bullpen.
Well, Jordan, do you are you familiar with the openers?
Say that again. The openers.
Yeah. Do you know what that is?
Not really. I don't think.
The Tampa Bay Rays started this trend, and now every team does it. You get a guy from the bullpen. He starts either 1 inning or 2 innings.
Can opening. Okay.
Yeah. Then you bring another guy in. Then you bring another guy in. Sometimes you have a starter that day, right? And you bring in a reliever to pitch the first 2 innings, and then the starter will take it from there.
Oh my god, that's the
And
fucking.
sometimes it's by committee. It'll be one guy has 1 inning, one guy will do 1 inning, and then another guy will do 2 innings, and then there'll be 2 or 3 guys that do 3 and 3, or like they'll interchange.
That's the Astros. Remember their was it a perfect game or a no hitter? I think it was a no hitter. The Astros when they're like, okay, we're down starters and we're just gonna put relief men for this entire game. And they threw a fucking no hitter through it.
Well, they do that. They do that. Every team does that now because there's not enough starters to go around.
Oh.
So they already do that. Or the starters, a couple of starters are hurt. So that's why they carry like 15 pitchers, and they need them. And they need them. Your bench has to have like utility guys that can play multiple positions, so you can maximize that spot. Because you're gonna need the rest for pitchers.
They're gonna make me feel like a fucking old man. But
Dude, it's kind of like it's kind of disgusting, bro. It's kind of like, what is this? What is this? Is not baseball anymore.
oh man.
They have like, what's it called though? Not market tax, but I don't know what the word is. Something like, I don't even know what the word is, bro. They have stupefied. How about that? They stupefied.
No, that's a perfect fucking word. They have stupefied what we're doing right now. And yeah, I'm not gonna go. No, yeah, I'm not gonna rant because I could on like the things that baseball players now care about. And I've coached kids. I've coached the younger generation what they care about in baseball. Like, oh my god, like come on guys, like we could do way better. But let's keep it moving. Here we go.
5-man rotation.
God
If
damn.
that list does not go to 14, you're going to have a problem during the course of the season. It
14.
is normal that
You're right.
teams use around 14 people to start games. Now, this was even before openers came into play. This
You
is
hear?
when you actually had starting pitchers start every game of a regular season. So a guy
Yeah,
gets
but not
hurt,
the
no
innings.
problem. Number 6 moves up. You've got your 5-man rotation. Another guy goes on the IL. Bring up number
The
7.
lefty's the only guy I
There is
see
a
that
list.
looks like an actual
During
like
the course of a season, there is
high pitch
movement
innings guy.
at the bottom of the list. There are some pitchers during
Nestor,
the course of the season
right, or something
will
like that?
outperform the expectations. They will
Like everyone else looks like a fucking glorified bullpen guys. Like Gerrit Cole looks like a glorified like I'll strike you out for 5 innings. After that I'm fucked. But the lefty Nestor Cortez,
Yeah.
he looks like an actual like starter in the Major League Baseball. Like,
Well, to be fair, Garrett averaged like 7 innings a game.
did he? Okay, fair
Six
enough.
and a half.
Fair
Like
enough.
6.5.
Okay, fair enough. Then he's like a power pitcher that can last long enough to be
He had
effective
like
for a
yeah,
starter.
he had like a 5 or 6 year streak of pitching over 200 innings.
Okay, no, that's fair enough. Fair enough.
But now that's gone down to 2.
They're not okay. That's fair enough. But he's getting paid like he's Verlander, right? If I had to guess.
Yeah, 30 a year. He 325 over 8.
Like Verlander's like a big game. Okay, I'm throwing like eight 8 innings, bro.
Oh yeah, Verlander's gonna miss opening day too. He's hurt too.
Yeah. Shut the fuck up. You're destroying me right now. Every hopes I had of like this mid generation, you're like ruining it. But whatever.
Well, I mean, he pitches a lot, bro. He's just he's not he doesn't have arm problems. He has like a hamstring problem or something.
It's kind of the same thing. And
Hamstring or calf.
if you listen to fucking James rant about this
Yeah,
this type of
you're
stuff,
right.
then it's kind of the same problem actually. But all right, let's play more. We definitely need to bring fucking James in for some of these
Yeah, we
sports
do.
Away the
fucking
you
things,
were
bro.
expecting, and then they move up your SPD. So when one of the top 5 is hurt, or you have a double header, and you look to who you're going to have fill that slot. In addition to using their talent to rank them, we also use their service time. Are they on the roster? A non-roster pitcher in your top 14 requires a concomitant move. You've got to take someone off your roster in order to get them into a major league game.
Unless
Added
40
to your
man's
40-man
in September, right?
Remember, you protect 40 players at once, and then every day
Okay.
you choose 26 to be active. If you want someone to
26.
pitch who's on your 40-man roster but not your 26, you call up that player from 40 to 26, and you send down a player who has options from 26 down to 40.
Yes.
When you're forced to send a
If
player down,
there's
who doesn't
fucking
have
injuries,
options,
yes, you do
this
that.
happens during the season. That's when you designate a player for assignment. You have to get them off your roster. So
Yes.
you'd much rather have SPD
I hate the
who
business
are
manager
roster
of those, bro.
keepers. So the Yankees are looking at their rotation, and if they know they have to go to number 6 right off the bat, and you do the calculation, you've got off days in April. We can go with 4 starters until April 9th, and then we need our 5th starter to start April 10th. And I'm making up the numbers, but let's say that's the case. Then you know you've got some time. If you're going to go with 5 starters from the very beginning, then you know you do not have that amount of time, even though there's generally an off day in the first week because teams get off days in case of rainouts in non-roofed stadiums, possible opening day rainouts.
Okay.
So the call comes in,
Yada yada yada.
and
Yeah.
it's not from the team doctor. Instead, the call goes from Brian Cashman to the team doctor. Hey, we sort of need to figure out what's going on with Gerrit here. He's not giving us innings. His
That's the
arm
creepy
feels
part.
wonky.
Okay.
What are your thoughts? The team doctor likely said, let's put him in the tube. When you put a pitcher in the tube, you're going to find out exactly what's happening. You will find out what's going on with his elbow ligament.
MRI,
You'll find out what's going on
right?
with his shoulder. If you MRI his shoulder, you can MRI any part of your body and find out what's going on. For those of you who have been asking, major league ballparks do not have MRI machines. We have X-ray machines. Hey, he broke his finger. No, he didn't. Hey, he broke his leg. Oh, it's a compound fracture. Don't need the machine. Get to the hospital. MRI tubes? No, those are in hospitals associated with the team doctor.
Those are called like investment injuries, right? When like if you're doing a fucking MRI to where like you're doing a full body like scan type of thing, or maybe even like zooming into a particular part of their body. Either way, it's like those are like the chings are based on that thing that happens. Physicals with new players. Hey man, you had a knee injury that you didn't say anything. Like you were just running around with the Marlins for years and years with this injury, but now you're on our team, and here's this injury here. We're gonna pay you less now. How about that? Like, this is cold-blooded business, man. I don't think people fucking realize that with sports. This is cold-blooded fucking business. Like, hey, man, you have a knee injury that you didn't say anything about it, right? You didn't show anyone about it, and here it is. Like, guess what? Your contract is going to be significantly less, bro. And guess what? If you try to go to other teams to like explain about, like, hey, man, I'm worth. I hit 50 home runs last year. Well, have you seen these knee injuries right here? You sure? You sure you want to pay him this much? Are you sure?
Yeah.
And we'll take him. We'll take him at discount. This is fucking business, bro. These guys are. It's not about sports anymore at this point. It's weird. It gets weird, guys. I'm sorry. And I love my loyal sports fans because that's the way I want sports to actually be. To be about skill and talent and all that shit. But it isn't. It isn't, man. With contracts, it's not that. And your favorite player may end up on some random fucking team for whatever fucking reason. And it is what it is. Sorry.
That up. The next video will be about exactly that.
Oh, man. And baseball's so blatant. Well, maybe it's blatant for me because I love the sport so much. I've seen so many fucking players and watch them swing or play defense or whatever the fuck, to where I feel some way about it. But yeah, it seems so fucking blatant sometimes. But here we go. I'll play more.
However, unlike you, there is no appointment required. There is no wait. When a player needs to get an MRI, it is 24 hours a day. We have access to an MRI too. And it's zero wait. And I don't mean zero wait to get the appointment. I mean, it's as long as it takes to drive to the hospital. That's when the MRI appointment is. Now, so if you've ever been bumped from an MRI appointment or your doctor's running a little late, go ahead and look in the tube, and there could be a professional athlete in there.
If you're
What's interesting
if you're in
about
Miami,
it is that sometimes we do wait overnight to do an MRI.
for
It's
him,
only
like
because the player,
based on the doc,
"Hey, I got something
the
for
doc we
the
just
kids.
fucking saw.
Hey, I don't want to wake up at 7 a.m.
If you're in
to drive
Miami,
down to
like
the
maybe.
hospital. Hey, I got this to do. I got that to do. All right, what's the earliest you can go? I can be there by 9:30. All right, be there at 9:30. Your MRI's at 9:30. You're in the tube. Let's call it a half hour. 10 o'clock, reading comes out. You go home, you report back to the field if you want, and you wait on pins and needles. No, that's what you and I do. That was one of the biggest adjustments, Coca, actually, when I was out of baseball, is that I was no longer able to just get MRIs whenever I wanted, and I was not able to get results immediately. The MRI results come to the Yankees immediately.
Yeah.
So just to be clear, when Gerrit Cole gets the MRI, the Yankees will have the results, and then they can decide what they're going to do, how they're going to announce it.
Yes. If you're a major athlete on one of these giant franchises, fucking rosters, or even a small franchise, if you're a name on that roster, they know immediately. I'm sorry. They do know. So let's not be stupid.
Cause they do funny business. They tell you, oh, we'll tell you in a couple of days. Like they already know. They just are trying to find the best ways.
Yeah. These guys know already, man. The teams have, like, they will fucking big dick the fucking hospital you're in, bro. They will. I'm sorry. I know hospitals are supposed to be like looking after people and shit like that for like their injuries. Oh, their cardiac arrest. Oh, gunshot wounds. Whatever the fuck. Guess what? If the New York Yankee walk in there, they win. It's theirs now.
Also, the fucking doctor themselves.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
You do something else, you better stop doing what you're doing and come tell us about it.
Yeah. They're like the mafia, but they're illegal.
Yeah.
They're a legal mafia to run into your shit, bro. If you're a baseball player, like, and you get fucked up, these guys are legal mafia to run through all your shit, bro. like actually. But all right, here we go. Like it's
If it's true
it's
that it's
crazy.
just a little fatigue, then all you do is announce there is no structural damage. We are going to build Gerrit Cole back up. We expect him to be ready by the middle of April, but he will start the season
I would
on the
hope baseball
injuries.
fans are
That's
keen to
one.
that shit already, bro. I would
Number
hope.
2, it could be serious, in which case you announce we're inconclusive. We're going to let him rest, but there is no timetable. That's another favorite.
I would hope fans are keen to that. The two things he just fucking brought up, I hope fans are keen to that shit already. I hope, but I'll let him keep going. I hope fans know more, like no more
Unfortunately, the
than that,
Yankees have 2
please.
problems. One is Nestor Cortez. Nasty Nestor
That's the
actually
lefty.
went public, which we tell our players never to do. Do not talk about your teammates' injuries. That's second only to don't take anyone to your room who you meet in the hotel lobby. 2 rules. I mean, third, of course, is take Uber. Don't talk
Don't
about
do
your teammates' health.
steroids.
Cortez said he's a big part of this rotation. I feel like this is something he's trying to get ahead of. Obviously, it's alarming. I didn't know how serious it was until now. Nestor, we're trying to make it not serious because we don't want Gerrit Cole to go to his agent, Scott Boras,
This
and
is
say, oh,
businessman
Scott,
fucking
I've got a
talk.
serious injury. You do?
Right.
Bummer, but you're in the middle of a 9-year,
Which is where
$300
someone like
deal.
Cashman
I'm
is,
not worried
right?
about you there, Gerrit. Good luck. Get better. Hold on. Brian, it's Scotty. Hello, Boris. What do you want? Hey, I'm hearing that there could be an issue with Gerrit. He's your client. Do you know something? No, I just know what I read. He feels a little tired. He'll be fine. But, I got another client out here ready to go. He's completely stretched out. Forget taking a step back. The Yankees cannot afford to start slowly out of the gate. The pressure is on you, Brian, and Aaron Boone. What, are you going to fire Booney after 3 weeks? You need my guy. How about the amount of self-dealing that Scott Boras can do right now? He can say to the Yankees, he's like the Dr. Seuss machine I talk about, where Sneetches pay to get their stars either put on or taken off. They don't care because they're making the money. They own the machine. And the Sneetches don't know what to do. They
I
keep
didn't
paying the
mean
guy money.
to
Dr.
that.
Sylvester McMonkey McBean, I believe it. There's no way I have that right, but that's sort of the Dr. Seuss character. Scott Boras is that. He's Sylvester McMonkey McBean calling the Yankees and saying, hey, I'm sorry that your pitcher has no star upon his belly. I've got a machine that I'll get you another pitcher. His name is Blake Snell. Scott Boras. You wonder why the Yankees don't want news out there? They don't want Boras to know anything. They don't want to get pressured into giving Blake Snell more money. That's it. Let me give you a wait to see on Gerrit Cole because the old elbow discomfort thing. I'm looking at 2 innings of spring training, and I'm telling you the following. Wait to see when I tell you something's going to happen. If it does, great. If it doesn't, fine. This one we're going to win. Gerrit Cole will start the season on the IL. That's a give me. Give me. He's not going to pitch again before May 1st. Wait to see. Tell you who's not waiting to see.
Okay. Yeah. I- this is me ranting about fucking James Bond. I'm like, yo, fuck James Bond. It's the same thing. It's what he's talking about right now with God, fucking Asians and conditions and like I hate this shit, bro. I hate it. Get the fuck away from my fucking sports. But they're here. They are here. It is what it is. And he doesn't recognize. He sees what I'm fucking seeing, man. With fucking sports, man. Of Jesus Christ. Conditions that allow athletes to maybe be in certain positions while not actually deserving such positions.
Yeah.
Of contract negotiations and shit like that, and a guy like Scott Boras, right? like if you hit fucking 25 home runs right in a season, he's be like, well, look at it was almost 30 though, right? See, you hit 25 home, he's almost 30 though. Like, so sign him for multi-million dollars like contract shit. Like, I get that too, as why like owners might be weary of a guy like that.
Well, they've been getting burned with these contracts.
They have been, dude. I love Pulos, but his contract is stupid. A Rod, his contract. I like A Rod as a hitter. This shit is fucking stupid. It's a stupid contract, man. Like, what do we do with all this?
Even Mike Trout, dude. Mike Trout got
Like,
$400 million.
okay.
He barely plays.
And
He
now, hey, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Well, now, like Snell, if he's represented by fucking Scott Boras, it's like, well, now what? Like, what's the transition now? Because these guys are making uber fucking money for what they're doing, right? But now you have Blake Snell, who you said was a two-time Cy Young.
He's the reigning NL Cy Young Award winner, and he already won one before that.
Bro, there you go.
And he closed like a contract.
So now what do we do with that? And Blake Snell kind of like bad timing, I think. Like, now you're here, man. It's like, sorry.
Yeah.
This is kind of fucked, actually. This is actually kind of fucked.
Well, there's
Because
a lot
you can see Scott Boras like kind of fucking you, but at the same time, like, well, maybe the sports is going this way, right? The sport is going this way, and we can pay people this.
Still fucked, even if the sport is going this. And it's what I'm telling you. He's the quintessential modern day pitcher, where they want you to max out, throw 5 innings, and get out of there. And so he did that. He followed the model. He found success in it, and now he's looked at as damaged goods for following the model that the teams want you to do. It just happens that he hasn't broken down yet, so he's asking for money. So by now, the pitcher would have broke down already, and they would take whatever the team gives them. That's where the teams want you to be as a pitcher. So they want you to follow this model they have, and hopefully down the line you get hurt enough to where you don't ask for big money.
To where you're a Nick Saban fucking Nick Saban roster like spot.
But on the other side of the coin, they do value guys like Gerrit Cole, who never, till this point, have never gotten hurt, always take the ball, and they go 5, 6, 7 innings consistently. So they're like the teams are putting you in a box, and if you happen to work within the box or you happen to transcend the box, it's kind of murky, like who gets paid, who doesn't get paid. And like it's always something I've felt with analytics and the new age of baseball. They want flawed players so they don't have to pay flawed players.
I always gave credit to fucking when Gilbert Arenas said about like, well, analytics. Analytics is about fucking contracts, bro. It's for agents. It's for agents to sell you to a fucking team or that or this or that. Like,
so
Gilbert was fucking right about that, in my opinion.
So let me put it like this, though.
God.
He was talking, if I had to guess, from the framework of the NBA and what the NBA is as an industry. But what if you take that same approach with these agents like Scott Boras and use analytics to a sport that has diminishing revenue returns, and they themselves are also trying to put a diminished product, whether they no matter they're trying to put pig on a lipstick.
But Ant,
yeah.
My last memory is Jason Hayward getting $20 fucking million a fucking year for what?
For nothing for being a.
But he's getting $20 million a fucking year, man. Like, so what's going on here?
Good luck with
That's the
that.
weird thing, right? Is that we're in a fucked up spot? I think it's kind of fucked.
No, bro. Correct me if I'm wrong. What was the logic behind that contract? It was that
His defense. Whoa, okay. Narrative. All right, narrative of why he is here or there. As far as Jason Hayward was okay, maybe he's not so great offensively, but his defense takes away runs. So thus, like, he's worthy of a $20 million fucking contract. If I'm remembering like fucking correctly, bro. Did I fuck that up? Like,
no, I think you're right. I think it was predominantly that. Yeah.
it's like,
And
yeah,
he was like a 20-80 guy.
yes.
Like and then his average started to go down. His on base percentage started to go down.
He ate shit on the fucking Cubs. Like, in the first couple years, I think he ate shit. But it was like look at that arm in right field, as far as like ESPN would like be announcing. And it's like, yo, like, yo, what are we doing here? Like, how did he win that contract? BJ Upton on my fucking Braves. I love the Braves, man. BJ fucking Upton. Like,
Well, BJ Upton was a little different because he was a good offensive player when he signed.
that's off the Rays shit, right? The Tampa Bay Rays shit. But Hayward getting that contract freaked me out. I'm like, what is going on here? Actually. Oh man. God damn it, I love sports. I fucking love sports and the money behind it, and you know what? And things with like athletes. It's like, yeah, you know, we done with the '90s. That type of bullshit. Like, god damn it, we're in a shitty fucking place. Just like we're in a shitty place with fucking movies and TV and all that shit, man. The narratives suck ass. They do. And we're now paying for it. We are. If you're a baseball fan, you're paying for baseball right now. If you're a basketball fan, you're paying for it. If you're a film fan, you're paying for it. If you're a music fan, you're paying for it. Guess what? You're getting taxed. You're getting taxed everywhere you go, bro. There's a fucking toll booth pulling fucking money from you right now.
If you're a Republican, you're paying for it. If you're a Democrat, you're paying for it.
Yeah, exactly. Yo, you're getting taxed everywhere you fucking go, bro. You forget about it.
And like, what's like? It's like a phenomenon of whatever the narrative is at the time for whatever you prescribe as a thing you follow. It's like you're agreeing to your own downfall.
Exactly. Oh my god.
You start to drop. What's it called? What is this? Oh, standards. And
Yes.
then you're surprised for the diminished returns.
Well, the complaining about the fucked up thing that comes back to you. The complaining about that is its own fucking economy. After that, this is where we're getting fucked. That's why we're getting fucked. This is how we're getting fucked. And yeah, like I'm gonna end this video here, but good God, we need to like pay. Like, please open your eye. Like, open your eyes if you're a thinking person. Please, if you're into sports, open your fucking eyes. If you're into movies, open your fucking eyes. If you're into music, open your fucking eyes, man. Something weird is fucking happening. And it will not change unless we look at it ourselves. And that's where I'm at right now. Like, it is what it is, man. We're getting fucked, I think. But whatever. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe I'm a paranoid asshole. Whatever. All right. Anything you want to add to this that we didn't like?
No, I think we're good.
Okay. All right. There's our video. David Samson. God damn. I hope there's baseball fans that fucking see this, but it is what it is. I hope you I hope you're paying attention to the fucking downfall of your sport, man. I am one of the biggest baseball fans you could possibly fucking talk to, and I can see the fucking downfall of it. And it is what it is, man. I'm sorry about that. I love this sport, and I think it's going downhill, man. So, if you're a baseball fan, please give me your feedback of what you think could change, or if you think if you think I'm wrong, or me or Anthony are fucking wrong, right? And you think it's going in a good direction, please let us know. I will disagree with that, but it is it is what it is, man.